Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee with Compassion. I'm just so grateful that you're here. I thank you that you take that kind of time out of your day to really listen to what God's speaking to me and taking time to listen to this devotion. I hope that it's something that ministers to you this morning and really something that you can carry on throughout your day. You know, I want to talk to you about greatness this morning. As the disciples are by themselves with Jesus walking from one town to the next, they begin to argue about which one of them is going to be the greatest. More specifically, which one of them is going to get the greatest accolades when they get to heaven. And Jesus turns around. He puts the stop on this by saying in Matthew 20, verses 26 and 27, he says, "Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. And whoever wants to be first must be your servant." I think we can all agree that when we pass from this life into the next, we all want to be remembered as great. Don't you want to be remembered as great for something? What is your ambition in life? What is your passion in life? What do you want to remember, people to remember about you that was great? To say that person was the best at this, that person was the greatest at this. What is your ambition? You know, many times we use worldly measurements for this, false measurements that are not as lasting as we think. We may say we have a certain talent, an ability, or we made certain accomplishments. Or maybe we measure greatness by power and wealth and responsibility. If that's the case, then Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, and Bill Gates, the founder of Windows, are two of the greatest human beings who've ever lived, if you measure it by power, wealth, and responsibility. But I think we can all agree, I don't know those two men very well, but I don't think that my measurement of greatness, the greatness that God has taught me, that's the measurement I would use for those two fellas. So how does Jesus do it? How does Jesus measure greatness? He tells the disciples right here, "Father, you measure greatness by all these worldly things, by all these other things." But Jesus says, "I measure greatness by how much of a servant you are." Your greatness in heaven will be measured by if you had and operated in a servant's heart. His standard for greatness is so different than ours. Even in the church, we're subject to these ambitions. We're subject to these works ways of thinking, these accomplishment ways of thinking. But Jesus says, when I measure your greatness, it's going to be how much of a servant were you. And you know the great thing about this? If you're going to be a servant, the awesome thing about this is that your circumstances don't matter. Whatever circumstance you are in life, you can be great. Whatever circumstance you are in life, you can be a servant. Whether you're a CEO or an entry-level employee, you can be a servant. Whether you're rich or poor, you can be a servant. Whether you're sick or well, or whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you can be a servant, no matter what circumstance you're in. So what is a servant? What does a servant look like? It's as easy as this. A servant is someone who in every situation, no matter who they're around, is looking out for the better of the people they're with. Man, you can even serve your enemies that way. If you look at others and you say, how can I serve them? How can I make things better for them? Then you truly are a servant and somebody with a servant's heart. We should always be looking out for others in how we can draw them closer to God or how we can reveal more Jesus to them. If you have that kind of attitude in whatever circumstance you're in, then you are a true servant of Christ. I really hope this ministers to you. God bless you. Have an awesome day.